button to press there for the underlay or the overlay or whatever we're doing. I think I am breaking up now, aren't I? I knew it was back in a minute to go live. Anyway, good evening, everybody. We've just won well. I'm trying to plug my mic in now. That'll be a lot bloody easier. We'll do this right one day. Right, hopefully that's better now. Right, good evening. It's the Gunners Town Pubcast. By in Affolder. Charlie, how you doing, mate?
Good afternoon, evening all. How are we?
We're all good, matey. And we're joined by Zac, young Zac, who's been doing a little bit of writing for me on shoeworld.com. How you doing, Zac?
Yeah, good. Very pleased with the way the performance went through the 90 minutes after a bit of a slow start.
Welcome, Zac.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, first time, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's good to see you. Do you know what I mean? We'll have a little bit of a chat for a little while. We'll have a chat about the game and everything. Hello to everybody who's joining us. If you want to say hello, put a note in whatever you're watching on. I know we're live on a few different forums. Anyway, we won 3-0. The first half, though, it was kind of one of those, you're watching and thinking this is just another one of those performances that we're putting in without us sort of getting an end result. And it was just becoming a little bit too much like what we don't want to see at the moment. I mean, it weren't just me, Charlie. I mean, obviously, you're sitting there thinking until we get the first goal, it's just going to be like that, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously, when you're watching, you watch the Tottenham game before, and like you laugh and you take the mickey out of that lot, and then it got to half hour. I'm looking, I'm thinking, we're not really penetrating. It's a bit too easy. We're passing the ball about, and yeah, we got the 2 quick fire goals in the end, which I thought worked, which were good goals. I just thought it was a bit like a training game. It was a bit too easy, if you know what I mean, for the guys. I thought, obviously, granted, you just got to win and beat who's in front of you, but it was a bit of a training game. 3 points ultimately. We know that the Europa League group stages are a little bit tedious sometimes, and obviously you want 4 wins out of 4. So the last 2 you can just sort of play no one you need to, and but other than that, job done. 3 points. So yeah, lovely.
Yeah, no, same. Like I say, I'll chat that to you. Really, I mean, it just looked like we was having all the ball and all the possession. With, as Charlie said, there was no real goal threat really for quite some time, was there?
No, I completely agree. And I think the main problem with that was in the first half there was a lot of problems with them being very sort of compact and deep. You know, they sometimes had 5, 6 players back, and that was hard. But we persevered, and especially Willock in the half space really shone out. Man of the match for me tonight. Really bright on the ball, especially. You know, had a goal to show for it as well. So I think perseverance is the key generally with this lack of creativity we have. If we can keep going and try and find a way through, then eventually the goals will come. We have to find a way when things aren't always working, when we're the favoured team and teams are going to set up to defend against us, because we're a top 6 side.
Yeah, no, fair. I mean, I thought Eddie should have scored before he scored. I thought he had a good chance, like literally a couple of minutes before. I'm kind of encouraged the fact that he missed what was probably a slightly easier chance before he actually banged that in, which was quite brave after the corner, really.
Yeah, I see someone tweet at the time when he missed that chance. They said about, if Lacazette would have missed that, he'd have got slated. Which I think Lacazette, obviously I wasn't here on Sunday, but I'm sure you spoke about it. Lacazette did have a bit of a nightmare. But also that tweet I see from someone was, I think also you've got to understand, Lacazette, we signed for £15 million. He's played in Europe his whole life. The kid is only a kid still, do you know what I mean? And like, he's still finding his feet. He's going to have them chances. I'm glad he got another goal. Just keep nicking them goals. I didn't think it was actually that great tonight, to be fair. I'm normally quite full of praise for Eddie. I thought a couple of things were bouncing off of him. His touch weren't great. But it was very hard. They were defending very, very deep. They had sort of like a bank of 4 and a bank of 5, and they were quite compact, as they would do. They come in, they didn't want to go and get walloped, did they? So for someone like Eddie, who's playing on his own up front, it is difficult. But I agree with Zac with Willock. I thought Willock was really good tonight. Just coming out of lines, I thought he was fantastic. And I thought Reece Nelson done quite well as well. I've been quite critical of him in the past, but I think I thought he showed a few glimpses tonight, Reece, to be fair, which I'm quite glad to see.
He's in product though, Charlie. I mean, we can't. You can't. He's got the pace. He's got the skill.
I think you're right. It's probably one criticism is his end product is a bit poor sometimes, which I thought was getting better as the game went on, if you know what I mean. I mean, he had that little run through the middle when he ended up putting it out wide to Willian, but I thought he could have gone a bit earlier to Balogun because he made the run through. But yeah, it's just. But he also hasn't played for ages, Gav, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, it's just he's getting. This is what the group stages should be about. They should be about players like him getting the chance to actually get on the pitch and sort of try and see where he fits in. But I mean, Zac, me and Charlie spoke about this before. We probably spoke about this about 4 or 5 podcasts ago, really. Reece Nelson, he needs a good loan deal, doesn't he? He needs a good loan deal in January. Get through the group stages, let him play like the rest of the group, and then chuck him on loan, Zac, yeah?
Yeah, is this Nelson you're referring to here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Nelson, he had a really good loan spell at Hoffenheim when he was last out on loan. I think the ploy, I've always been an advocate of, since we've been in the Europa League, of sending players rather, have them in the 6 games in the Europa League. And just see how they do in the group stage. And then if it doesn't work out for them come the 6 games done in December, you can send them out on loan in January. But I think it'd be interesting to see how he does. I completely agree with Charlie. His end product does need some work. I mean, Karen Carney mentioned it enough on commentary. But yeah, encouraging signs from him to at least show the intent to be improving it and have a go and not shy away from the opportunity of improving.
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah, no, fair one. Going back to one of the comments, Arnie Arneson asked how the keeper did. Let's be honest, either one of us played in goal tonight.
Yeah, I think it was quite comfortable for him, wasn't it? I did know. I thought he looked very small, doesn't he? I thought he was very, very small. But he literally had 2 things to do. One shave, he kept out. Second one, he come out and got the ball quite well when it come in from the corner. So you can only do what's in front of you, but so you can't knock him. Do you know what I mean? But he's Leno's our number 1. We know that. Every big game he's going to play, so it's still good to give the guy a chance. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
we're in the market for another keeper.
Yeah, no, I thought he looked like he wanted to get the ball out quick.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah,
I think it's encouraging. Do you know what I mean? He didn't want to hang about. When he got the ball, he didn't want to hang about with it. He just wanted to offload it straight away. So I kind of like that, really.
Yeah, and I think that's really important in a game like this as well, where you've got, a bank of 5 and then a bank of 4. To offload and recycle quickly, playing out from the back is important because it gives the defenders less time to kind of breathe and have a respite. They're constantly facing the ball and it's constantly coming at them if the keeper can recycle possession. Now, a lot of people are saying, letting Martinez go was a mistake, but ultimately we had to choose between 2 number 1 goalkeepers and 2 into 1 doesn't go. So, and who knows, if we didn't get that 20 million for him, we might not have got Gabriel or Thomas Partey. So it is what it is. But yeah, just encouraging, as you say, to see him play out from the back with speed and intent, recognising that his job wasn't to hold on to the ball on his debut, just doing what's best for the team and trying to set them on their way as a keeper, really.
Yeah, no, I completely appreciate that. I think the golden question is, I think I'm just saying that Willock ain't really he ain't featured yet this season in the Premier League team. What's he got to do?
See,
do you know what I mean?
I know. I mean, Willock plays well in his Europa League game, Gav, and when he gets given a chance in the Premier League, he sort of flat. He doesn't really do much. So it is a hard one. And when the pressure's on, you got. And I wouldn't like to see Willock start Old Trafford on Sunday. As much as he played well today, I wouldn't have the much belief or trust him to do so. Starting, and I don't think Arteta does either personally. But I mean, I like him. I like the way he's coming through. He does pop up the goals. I thought the finish tonight was excellent, the actual finish. But we are lacking that creativity in the middle. Everyone talks about it. We're not really the attacking force that people want us to be at the minute. But that does come from us working on defence. We're looking more solid at the back. We generally are. And I know Leicester game was a little bit of probably a hiccup in the road, really, because people can suffer getting beat by Liverpool and by Man City. And the way we played wasn't the greatest, but we stayed in the game till the 80-odd 90th minute in both games. When you're only one goal behind, you've always got a chance. But the Leicester game I said before the game, I know I'm not dwelling on the Leicester game, but as much as we won tonight, I know, but I said before the game to my dad on the Leicester game, I said, I've got a feeling that these next two games, Leicester United, are really a big test for us, whether we have actually improved or not.
Well, the sort of games we should be winning.
Yeah, like we needed a minimum of 4 points in them two games. And on the first hurdle, Leicester at home, we've been absolutely outwitted and bamboozled by Brendan Rodgers there. And unfortunately, yeah, I am one of them people who jump on the bandwagon. I get all excited and I think, oh, lovely, this is the new Arsenal. But Sunday, I ain't been looking forward to tonight's game at all, really, Gab. I was just really sort of deflated from that Sunday night.
You can see it coming. That's the thing. We could all see Sunday coming. After about 25 minutes, we all knew what was happening.
But yeah, I don't want to dwell much on that. I mean, I'm just looking. I've got the game in front of me now, and I'm sure we will talk about it. I thought Nicolas Pepe's goal was fantastic.
Oh, superb! With his right foot as well.
Yeah, and it's these. I just tweeted out after the goal. It's these individual moments of quality that we know he's capable of, but that we need to see him do against the likes of Man United, the likes of Leicester, against the clubs we're ultimately competing directly for competition with in the Premier League table. It's all right if he does it against Dundalk. He did it with 2 free kicks against Vittorio Di Maria in the Europa last year, but he needs to do it week in, week out now to justify his price.
Yeah, I think that's Pepe's problem, really. If we sign him as like a 20 million or something, like we have Gabriel and so forth, people are not expecting too much of him, and he's probably developing quite well for what he's done. But as you said, Zach, the price tag, which is no fault of his own, by the way, is a massive burden on him, unfortunately, and people are expecting results from your highest paid player, which anyone is. I mean, the first thing when Maguire has a bad game for United, people go, £80 million, and they'll fucking laugh. Do you know what I mean? So it is the same for Pepe, and I do feel sorry for a bit for that sense. But he does some things brilliantly, and you think, wow, fucking that's what he's there for. And then you see things like that corner tonight. Like, what on earth was that?
Yeah, but even there were examples in the first half. Before his goal, actually, I would have liked to have seen him take on the fullbacks a bit more, take him on one-on-one. But he did go inside to Cedric a bit more than I would have liked. He does need to dart into the box and take defenders on, really, to progress towards an end product of 15, 20 goals a season. You're not going to score goals if you don't go for them. And I think, it's got to the point where his confidence is clearly there. He's got the ability and the confidence, but does he understand the way of the English game? In that the French game is a bit slower, whereas in England you need to be slightly more direct and purposeful with your attacking play. And to me, he's not made that step enough.
I think he just needs to mix up a bit as well. I remember the Man City game, obviously being no fans, a couple of times he got the ball. You could hear Edison screaming out, "Put him on his right. Put him on his right. He's going to cut on his left. He's going to cut in on his left foot." And people are sussing that out now. And if you know someone's going to cut in every time, then they're going to stop that. So he has to mix it up a bit. He has to go the other way sometimes and be able to do that little bit of truck. Are you with us, Gav?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. My young lady just walked in. What I'd like, I understand completely what you're saying there, but what Pepe also needs, and hopefully with Bellerin getting back to what I think he's probably approaching his best form for us ever. Somebody needs, when he's getting forced onto his right, there's got to be an overlap. So it's not just down to him; it's down to the team. He's got to have the threat that he can just slip one to the side at the same time. That's where I'm looking at it. I don't know what the confidence. I mean, we was going to have a good chat about this in the week, but after Sunday, I don't think nobody wanted to talk too much about Arsenal. But there's just something missing. I think he's just got to click. I mean, I'm almost in the position at the moment where I want to see him play every single game until he plays himself into some sort of form. Now, we might get some really, really bad performances, and we might get some really hit and miss performances whilst doing that. But I just think he's just got to be played into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not one to criticise players. I mean, I want them to sort of do well, and I really hope he does. And to be fair, your best starting 11 for me, Pepe is still there. Pepe is still there. So, I don't know.
What does fuck me off though is every fucking 2 minutes, every time he touches the ball, someone's telling me how much he costs. I know how much he fucking costs. Will you fucking shut up and just and obviously, I mean, a lot of us watched it on BT tonight, and I'm not bashing the co-commentator because of her sexuality or.
I am. Because of it's absolutely terrible, mate.
But she was awful, and it ain't got nothing to do. Let's be honest. This ain't the sexist thing. It ain't because she's a woman. Do you know what I mean? Because there's some brilliant women commentators out there. Alex Scott. I could listen to Alex Scott all day long, but that woman tonight was fucking awful.
She said every pun you could possibly think of.
Yeah, and then she had a really badly misplaced phrase as well. This was actually on the subject of Pepe. She said, "I'm not sure if he's good enough to play week in, week in." And you're listening to that thinking, you've gone through all this media training, you're an ex-footballer. If you're not comfortable using that kind of language, just don't try and pass it off because you make yourself look like a bit of a muppet, frankly.
What she said tonight that the Dundalk geezer put a cross in, and she went, "Oh, he's known for his good crossing." That one, I was like, "What? You've never don't know this guy's name
her whole life."
You know what I
mean? But on the subject of Sunday, moving forward with a win, I would like to see Nelson start after a good performance. I'm not quite sure how other people would perceive this as well, but I'd like to see Saka put on the left-hand side of a midfield three, with Xhaka behind him and Partey beside him. I think Saka on the left side of a midfield three, because he's quite nimble in half spaces and he makes sort of dashing forward runs, and we know he's got defensive qualities. I feel like he could be a very good sort of box-to-box shuttling midfielder in a 4-3-3 if we transition to that and move Aubameyang central and maybe play Nelson on a left wing for Sunday.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. And I just think it's probably not the game United's do it. I think United's midfield is probably one of their biggest strengths that they've got, to be fair, at the minute.
And the rest.
What's that, mate?
The midfield and the rest.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest with you, I'm actually quite concerned about Sunday. I think we're going to get an hiding up there if we're not careful, without being negative. I think, do we know if Luiz is going to be all right for Sunday, or is he definitely out? Or
we'll probably know more after his presser this evening and on Friday, I imagine.
Yeah, I think he's quite key, really. I mean, I think as mad as it sounds, I think it all went wrong on Sunday when Louise went off because Mustafi's just fucking useless. I hate the geezer, and I just thought, as sad as it was, and we were not breaking Leicester down, Louise was actually trying to do stuff attacking as well. Like he was putting balls over the top, he was switching the play quickly, and he was creating space. Yet Mustafi, you get the ball, he pass it inside. It just wasn't the same dynamics going on.
This is one of my sort of long-term criticisms of Mustafi. Is not only is he poor with his positional play, but his range of passing just isn't as good as. And that David Luiz is. He has his faults, but in a back three, he did kind of prove himself towards the end of last season. And, as you say, our build-up play suffered when he went off. And in terms of Sunday, I think the fact Mustafi got subbed off maybe suggests
you're right.
He'd be starting on Sunday. The fact he came off, if that's the only thing we have to work with, it indicates that Louis probably won't be risked because you don't want to lose him for any longer than is necessary, which is what happened with Pablo Marie in training.
Yeah. My worry for Sunday, right? And like I say, I know we're moving on to that because, like I say, there's not a great deal that we learnt from today's game really about Sunday or about the Premiership team really. My main worry really is we're probably going to try and set up how we did exactly the same against Liverpool and Man City away. So I think we could be sort of almost we might even be a little bit on the negative side because I mean our setter, he doesn't want to come away from there without a point. He would he would probably take the point now if he was offered it. So that's my worry that we could set up quite negatively against Man United and again try and hit him on the break and try and put in one of the 2 or 3 chances that perhaps we get in the first 60 minutes. And that could just open us right up, I think. I think that would just completely play into their hands. I think we're better off trying to press Man United as high as possible and just completely go for them. But,
I think I'd like to see a Aubameyang through the middle and all next on Sunday as well. I mean, I think for me personally, I would start with a front three of Pepe, Aubameyang, and Saka. Because I think you're going to get the work rate from Saka getting up and down. 3 in the middle for me: Ceballos, Partey, and Xhaka. And I'd have a back 4. I mean, I know he likes to keep this 3 at the back, but I think that is to accommodate Louise in a way. I think it's hard, Sunday, because like 2 weeks ago, United were all over the place, and then they've had 2 good results in a couple of days or 4. Well, really, since Newcastle, Paris Saint-Germain, and obviously and the one on Tuesday night as well. They've hit a bit of form all of a sudden, United, and we all know what football's about: confidence. And when they are confident and they're flying, you've got Pogba playing well, maybe because I think when he plays well, United play well. So I'm a bit concerned about Sunday, and without being pessimistic, I'd absolutely bite your hand off for a draw now.
Sunday's an interesting one because, as you say, United are very confident, but I'm also just being an extensive watcher of Man United games through a lot of my friends being United fans. They've got good personnel, but also they don't always have a tactical blueprint to beat teams. They often beat teams through moments of individual quality. And I think if we do go with a 3 at the back, which I think he will, I would prefer us to go with a 4-3-3 as well. But I think
he will, yeah.
As we alluded to earlier, perhaps it's not the time to be too experimental. So maybe going with the 3-4-3 is a good idea. And if we just try and limit individual errors, which is exactly what cost us against Leicester last time out, then I think Arteta can emulate what he did against Liverpool, City, and Chelsea at the end of last season, because it is kind of set up for that away from home again.
Well, I was sitting with a couple of mates whilst the game was going on, right? And obviously we had that third on BT as well, talking about we're being a bit negative with three at the back, right? And I'm looking at it, and when we got the ball tonight, we didn't have three at the back.
No, we didn't.
You know what I mean? And when we was like, when they had the ball and the couple of times they was coming into our half, then Zac was almost sort of filling in as a centre back, which is possibly how he was doing against Leicester as well. So, I mean, I think really that that's the way forward. Really, it's much the same as how going back to our glory days when we had Vieira and Petit in the middle. And Petit would quite often slot in as a left back or a centre back. So, like I say, I mean, that's what I think we should be looking at going forward, really, because I don't want, as bad as this sounds, and I'm not slagging off Xhaka, I don't want him to have too much of the ball in a going forward creative position. I mean, that's why we've got the Ceballos for hopefully, and Xhaka, and and the wide men. So I don't know. It's just frustrating at the moment because I think we all know we're missing something down the middle at the moment. And the only sort of like glimpse that I've seen of anybody sort of changing, which seems to be the same old, whoever we actually say, is Willock, who we know ain't going to play. But we definitely. I mean, Partey obviously he had a good debut, and then against Leicester he come on, and I was actually a little bit disappointed with him against Leicester. To be fair, I was just seeing grab the ball, turn somebody, and sort of run towards people. It's much the same as what Ramsey did, and it's much the same as what Jack used to do. So I think that's where I'm sort of missing. I want to see a ball carrier. And Ceballos, it was Ceballos when he came on tonight. He was doing my head in because he was getting the ball, running into space, stopping, and then passing it backwards.
Yeah, I think tonight was a bit of was a hard barometer because by the time he's come on, we're 3-0 up. We didn't have no one playing we didn't have no centre half on the pitch, did we? It was literally just, I think at the end, I think we finished with El Nene as a 1 and a 3. And so I think it was just Ceballos' job was to come on, keep the ball, distribute it wide, give it to just keep. So tonight's not a barometer, but Danny Ceballos has been getting the praise early on in the season, the games against West Ham and stuff like that. But I thought he was poor Sunday. But I think he was being asked to do something that I've not ever seen him before. He was really wide right, which I didn't get really what he was doing. So, I mean, I think I'm sure Arteta would have seen that, and hopefully he sort of won't do that sort of positioning for him again. But we just lacked a bit of, I keep saying the word, creativity. And in their midfield three, I look at Ceballos as probably the one who can probably give us that creativity the most. And it didn't happen Sunday. And I was quietly disappointed with the performance. But I just think, I mean, I do agree with you, Gav, saying about like on Sunday. I think we have to have that bit of the front foot on Sunday. We've got to put the game to United. We can't be sitting back and trying to. I mean, we've got to actually go out and attack them, I think, because if we do go 1-0 down, I think we're struggling. I think we have to go and get the first goal. I think it's vitally important to do that. And all the big games, we've had chances. Liverpool, Man City, and Leicester, we had chances to take lead and we didn't take them. So we need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal as well.
Yeah. We had the referees on Sunday as well.
No. Well, I think the trick to Sunday is just staying in the game as long as possible. But we have to be, we do have to take the game to United, but we have to be smart as well, because one thing that really worried me from the game today was the fact that our fullback was so high. I think that must have been a tendency over this start to the season. If our fullbacks are really high against the likes of Rashford and Martial, is Martial maybe not back? Rashford anyway. If the fullbacks are so high against Rashford, we'll get caught out in behind the same way we did with the ball over the top for the left goal at the weekend.
Yeah, no, fair one. Right, well, we'll see. well, we'll wrap this up. Before we wrap this up, man of the match, I'm going for Willock. Charlie?
Yeah, I'm going for Joe Willock as well.
Yeah, I'm going to round that off with Willock as well, but I'm going to give a worthy mention to Reece Nelson because he showed a lot of intent where otherwise we were fairly flat for a lot of the game, especially the first half. Nelson was the one driving us forward a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I'm
happy with that.
Right, well, you boys got anything you want to add? Or can we wrap this up?
Predictions for Sunday?
Oh, 2-0 up.
I reckon we'll get the first goal and then they'll get back into it. I reckon 2-2.
Okay. I want to go completely against what I've been saying. I'm going for a 2-1 Arsenal win.
we can't help ourselves. That's the problem. We can't help ourselves.
I can't help it, mate. Do you know what I mean?
We can't help ourselves. Anyway, cheers for joining us, Charlie.
Lovely, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers for joining us, Zach. Hopefully we'll do this again soon, mate.
Yeah. First of
And,
many.
let's wrap this up, boys.
Lovely, guys. Gunners.
Up the Arsenal. I'll press the right button in a minute. You know what? We're just going to end this.